always ask me what Chance is like during the day because we do get crazy at night, but we're just a normal workplace.
What's good, bro?
What's good, bro? How your weekend going?
It's alright, bro. How's yours?
Man, just chilling. You catch the game the other day?
Nah, I do.
That boy Steph Curry, he's something serious. Yeah.
Right now, I need you to high five your best friend. High five your best friend right now. Yes. Welcome back from vacation, Sean.
Good.
Make more good in the all-new Sportage X-Pro. Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the place where roadside markets are filled with fruits and vegetables, small batch jams and made from scratch pies, where mountain trails are explored with friends with names like Ghost and Traveler, where award-winning wines, craft-made beers and spirits are raised, hearty meals are served, and nights are shared under star-filled skies. This is Center County, Pennsylvania. To find out all that's happening, visit us at happyvalleyagventures.com.
Hey, Penn State fans, it's game time, and Seoka is hitting the field with 40 dealerships and 25 franchises in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That means more choices and the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle priced to fit your budget. Plus, factory-trained service experts are just minutes away, and you can feel confident you're doing business with a family that treats you like family. We're a proud partner of Penn State Athletics and preferred auto dealer of the Penn State Alumni Association. The Seoka dealerships. Experience the difference.
Ba-bam! Welcome everybody to another edition of the Blue and White Players Show, coming to you as we do every week live from Champs downtown right here on South Allen Street in the heart of Happy Valley. 6 p.m. doing it live on the socials of statecollege.com and Onward State. I'm your fake host, Chris Bucanati. I got my old school to the left, Keith Kuhn-Conlon.
What's up?
New school to the right, and Nia Hawkins.
Yes, sir. There we go.
And I like the fact that we can unite the past great Penn State offensive line and the future. We got redshirt freshman offensive lineman Landon Tengwall as our first player guest tonight. Landon, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here, man. Hey, I just want to remind everybody, you're going to see this helmet on the table all season long. It's going to be signed by every player and letterman who joins us on the Blue and White Players Show all season long. And you can enter yourself for a chance to win this just by making a gift of any amount to Special Olympics of PA in honor of Coach Paterno. Just go to SOPAPaternofund.org. Any gift, any amount, maybe you'll own it. It's one of a kind. So, Landon, we always like to start off by asking our guests to just introduce themselves to the audience, where you're from, and tell us a little bit about your path to Penn State.
Yeah, so I'm Landon Tengwall. I'm from Annapolis, Maryland. Went to Good Counsel High School. So it all started 8th grade. Long time ago. Started 8th grade. I came to camp here summer before 9th grade.
This is true.
I
just freaked them out, by the way.
So I had a good performance, and then Coach Franklin, Coach Limegrover, they ended up offering me a little afterwards.
At what age?
I think at the time I was 14.
That's the youngest I've ever heard of Penn State.
That's nuts.
Do you know of any?
No. No, definitely not.
How big were you in the 8th grade?
I was a similar size, man. In the spring, I was about 6'5". I was 290 at the time. But
8th grade?
Yeah, I was. The thing was, I'll tell this story. I was a wide receiver, tight end in that fall of 8th grade, and I was about $180. And then me and my dad, we decided that I needed to play offensive line. I was a little too slow. I didn't have the athleticism to play tight end. And
put 100 on.
Yeah, put about 100 on. Maybe even more. It was a lot of protein shakes, a lot of peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, I put 100 on the wrong way. You did the right way. Yeah, I got you. I know it all too well.
Yeah.
No, but I'm telling you, it's an unbelievable story. I remember getting a phone call like, dude, you got to come down there and see this kid. He is in 8th grade, and he is locking dudes out who were going in there and like top recruits. Aeneas may have been.
I was not one of them. Don't start
that. I said you know the story though.
Landon didn't strap me up until years and years later. All right, that's a promise. But Yetur Gross Matos, now a North Carolina Panther, 2nd round draft pick. He was probably a senior in high school at that time, a junior. So. Yeah. It's ridiculous, man.
So you were telling us a little bit before we started the show tonight. Your class, so you are an actual redshirt freshman. People have difficulty keeping track of it now with the COVID year. But you came in the first group to come to Penn State after 2020.
Correct.
So you had a crazy high school experience. You were telling us that you were the first player from your high school, despite a lot of guys going to Division I to enroll early. Is that right?
Yeah. So COVID hit. There had been talks, maybe wanting to transfer to a public school to try to get in early because I had talked, with Franklin about the opportunity to come early, but it really wasn't going to happen. And then COVID hit in March, and I pretty much shut down my recruitment. I was going to take my visits, but I already knew I was coming to Penn State, and so I just decided I shut it down, committed to Penn State, and then started talking to the school, and I was like, this COVID thing might be around for a while, so do you think I could get out of here early? And they ended up working it out, and I was able to get here early and obviously get a whole spring ball. That was big time, a whole winter in the program, so that was very beneficial to me. But it was a great experience. COVID gave me a lot of time to work on my craft. That summer, even that fall before I got here. So it was a good opportunity for me.
So you did not get a senior season, though.
No, I did not. They didn't play. They didn't play that till the spring, and I was already here. So I was watching every week, supporting the guys, but I was already here in spring ball. Yeah.
So most freshman guys who come in redshirt and don't play their freshman year, that first spring game is like one of those first times you actually play football in well over a year.
Yep. Yeah.
So you were actually pushing 2 years since you had played a game.
Oh yeah, no, it was a long time.
And you're actually looking forward to the spring. That's probably the first time you ever said that, and the only time you ever said that. Knowing what you know now,
right?
Nobody says that.
I was excited. Yeah,
you were excited.
Yeah.
You were excited.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Now that had to be tough though. You missed your senior season. You went in there to winter workouts. Now again, I understand the excitement to get your college career going, but winter workouts are not for the weak of heart. Was it tough doing those and watching your team play football at the same time?
Yeah, it was tough. Obviously, one of those things that a lot of guys don't realize is, they think it's all peaches here, and it's not. I mean, it's awesome, but it's hard work. It's not anything close to what high school is. High school is pretty much all fun and play, and even at the highest level, went to some pretty big time schools, and it's just not the same as college. So it's definitely it's a little bit of a wake up call, but it was great to get here early and kind of get adjusted, and I think that's part of the reason that I was able to play in a couple games toward the end of the year there.
All right, so since we have established that you had top FBS programs looking at you as an 8th grader, you were one of the most coveted offensive line recruits in your class. So pretty much anyone who's anyone, I'm sure, is calling. Can you talk a little bit about why you chose Penn State out of the field of suitors, and just what made the Nittany Lions stand out against all the competition to have you as part of the team?
Yeah, I'd say a big part with the coaches, the atmosphere, that when you just come here, it's just a little different than these other college campuses. But really, it was the coaches. They're just like second dads, honestly. A lot of them, even guys who recruit me back. I mean, obviously Coach Franklin, Coach Sider was here at the time.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm gonna say he was still here back when I was first getting recruited. A bunch of guys that had left. I was really close with Tyler Bowen at the time. A lot of guys on the staff, and they just keep bringing in the same quality men, not even just coaches, quality men as these coaches, and they're just awesome dudes. And that's something that I said when I committed is I'm putting my faith in Coach Franklin. A lot of these assistant coaches, it's college football, they move around all the time, always changing. But I just I put my faith in Coach Franklin. He's always going to put the right guy in the right positions for us.
Holding call this week.
Yeah, first one's rough.
Brutal, right?
Yeah, it's not a good feeling to look up at.
It's the worst feeling in the world. It's the only time you ever hear an offensive lineman's name. It's the worst. It's the absolute worst.
At least got a shout out in, man.
Why not? You got me on the broadcast probably at least.
NIL era, man. All publicity is good publicity.
Exactly.
You know the rules.
Now it's all about selling brand. Come on, it's like that, no. Any publicity is good. Oh man,
it's all good.
Oh, man.
No, it happens. I mean, and then the first one is always like so. I had one against Michigan, '94, with a touchdown called back.
Oh,
so Kijana bust my chops one time and says he'd have won the Heisman had he had one more touchdown. That one hit hard 20 years later.
Yeah, that's a rough feeling. That's a little different. That's a little different.
I was like, damn, man. First of all, it wasn't a hold.
That's a dagger.
But if you're going to get one, you get one.
Yeah.
No ticky-tacks.
No doubt.
No ticky-tack stuff,
So we were talking about easing into playing. One of the things that is different from when you played Goon, honestly, even when you started your career in Aeneas, is the ability for freshmen to play 4 games and still keep their red shirt. So you don't have a senior season of football. You won a state title as a junior, though, right?
I did. It was awesome. It was awesome.
It's good. You got to go out on a good note. But then you don't play any actual live, meaningful football for over 12 months.
Oy.
And then you get the chance to play in a few games as a true freshman. Yeah. Can you contrast what it was like getting in spot duty last year after all that time off versus now as a regular starter?
Yeah, well, as I'm sure the stories have been. Everybody's heard the stories about Rutgers. That was my first real playing time, where the flu kind of hit the team. We had a couple injuries, and next thing you know, I remember Caden was up in the hotel. I said, "Gonna be able to go?" He said, "Get ready." I never forget. I went back, and this is right after breakfast. And normally we have about 45 minutes after breakfast before the buses leave to go to the stadium.
Yeah.
I never forget. He said that, and I went to my hotel room. I went in, and I just put my face in my hands, and I was like, "Damn, all right, gotta go." So it's a little bit of a different feeling now, obviously. A little more prepared, things of that nature, feeling a lot more comfortable, especially after a couple starts. We're just excited, man. We're excited. I feel like, the offense is kind of going the direction that we've kind of been, waiting for it to go. So it's exciting. We're finally, running the ball. Obviously, we can definitely improve, but it's exciting to see some results.
So my question is, because it's been pretty clear, especially in the running game, that the offensive line has pretty dramatically improved, especially from the last couple seasons. You've been here with Coach Trout. How have you seen Coach Trout kind of assist in making that leap happen? What has been different this year in comparison to the last couple years?
Yeah, honestly, I think Coach Trout, he's been the same dude every day, and it's honestly been the same message. And I think it took us as an offensive line room, as a culture, to kind of understand, okay, we really need to start hearing what he's saying instead of, maybe it was just going out one ear, out in one, out the other, things of that nature. Really just absorbing and kind of just committing to getting our craft right. I think the culture in the offensive line room is the best it's been in a long time. We got great leaders up front, young dudes, got a great mixture. So it's really encouraging. It's exciting.
Yeah, that table got me. Yeah, but you
got me earlier.
Your first start, you're literally petrified, and and then 5-6 starts a couple of years later, you're just sitting there laughing and joking about how upset. Man, I remember my first was at Maryland in '93, and I'm literally throwing up before the game, and we won by 75 points. I'm like, what the hell was I so upset about? So scared about him? It's easy because I always tell everybody, and I've told this story before. I had a guy named Jim Nelson who was a sophomore when I was a senior. He was my brother's roommate. It was his first start, and he was pregame breakfast. He's throwing up. I'm like, dude, it's okay. Everything is slow motion. Yeah. I said, you've seen everything that they can give you. Yep. You're so well coached, so well versed, and ready to go for this. that, and then post game he had like 7, 8 tackles, played a great game. He looks at me and said, "Dude, it was unbelievable. It was slow freaking motion." And it's true because you're so in tune to the game, you're so jacked up. But you know, I didn't find out a half hour before the game I was starting. But you know, it is what it is, and good for you to get it done because it's not an easy thing. And you know, you guys have been playing very well this year, much better, and you can see that your confidence is building. And that's what I'm going to ask you is, I mean, that's the easy answer for offensive line play is having the confidence. But it looks like you guys know what the hell you're doing more. You know what I mean? You're making mistakes, but you're making mistakes at higher speeds. You know, you're at least being aggressive mistakes rather than just stand. Some guys, I mean, the past few years was guys, it almost looked like they didn't know what they were doing, and guys were just running around and they were just chasing them. And at least you guys are coming off the ball and being aggressive and making aggressive mistakes if you even make a mistake. But I think you guys have been playing great. This past weekend, I know we'll ask Dom about it too, but I know you don't think you're going to have it, but there's definitely a hangover after that Auburn game. Not a physical hangover that we had as the fans, but I'm talking as players. You know what I mean? Because it's like you go from such an environment down there and such a high. I'm sure the plane ride home was like ruckus as hell, fun as hell, and then you get out and practice, and then you got to get ready to play a Central Michigan team who's you know you're going to beat them, but you got to get up for it. That's a tough one to get up for.
Yeah. I think we came out hot right away, got a good turnover, and kind of lulled a little bit. So obviously, there are a lot of things to improve on from that game, and we know, obviously, we weren't at our best or anywhere close, and we really haven't been yet. And that's one thing that I think that's great in the locker room that we realize we haven't been at our best yet at all, and saving that for down the road. But you just got to keep getting better day by day. I think that's the message, and that's the message from the top down. And I think a lot of the guys are embracing that this year, and I think that's gonna really be big time for us.
Better each day, each practice, each rep, each play.
Yeah, hey, you know what? It's not a bad position to be in, to be playing pretty damn well and understand you got an opportunity to get a lot better. We had Jair Brown on the show last week, and he said you want to learn from wins. So just keep doing that, man. Learning from the wins. Appreciate it. It all starts at the line of scrimmage. So, Landon, you and your offensive line mates are going to be critical for everything Penn State does the rest of the season. True. We appreciate you joining us here on the Blue and White Players Show. We got freshman linebacker Dominic DeLuca joining us on the other side of the break. Keep watching us here on the Blue and White Players Show live from Champs Downtown. We will be right back.
People always ask me what Champs is like during the day because we do get crazy at night, but we're just a normal workplace.
It's good, bro.
What's good, bro? How your weekend going?
It's all right, bro. How's yours?
Man, just chilling. You catch the game the other day?
Nah, I didn't.
That boy Steph Curry, he's something serious. Yeah.
I need you to high five your best friend. High five your best friend right now. Yes. Welcome back from vacation, Sean.
Good.
Make more good in the all-new Sportage X-Pro. Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the place where roadside markets are filled with fruits and vegetables, small batch jams and made from scratch pies, where mountain trails are explored with friends with names like Ghost and Traveler, where award-winning wines, craft-made beers and spirits are raised, hearty meals are served, and nights are shared under star-filled skies. This is Center County, Pennsylvania. To find out all that's happening, visit us at happyvalleyagventures.com.
Penn State fans, it's game time, and Seoka is hitting the field with 40 dealerships and 25 franchises in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That means more choices and the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle priced to fit your budget. Plus, factory-trained service experts are just minutes away, and you can feel confident you're doing business with a family that treats you like family. We're a proud partner of Penn State Athletics and preferred auto dealer of the Penn State Alumni Association. The Seoka dealerships. Experience the difference.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Blue and White Players Show, coming to you live from Champs Downtown on South Allen Street in the heart of Happy Valley, bringing you the story of Penn State's 2022 football season from the perspective of current and former Nittany Lions. Nobody does it like this.
It's true.
And nobody else has one of these helmets, which is going to be signed by every player and letterman who appears on the show all season long. You can enter yourself for a chance to win this one-of-a-kind helmet by going to SOPAPaternofund.org. Honor the legacy of Joe Paterno, Joe and Sue Paterno. Support Special Olympics of PA, and maybe become the proud owner of this wonderful Penn State football helmet. I'm Chris Buccanani. I got Keith Kuhn-Conlon, Aeneas Hawkins, and joining us on the show now, Penn State linebacker Dominic DeLuca. Dom, thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. And I do have to mention, since I talk with my hands
I'm just
so much.
you're just trying to get out of the way.
You do. You know I do.
Did you notice this over here? Another Italian shows up, and all of a sudden Booch was like, "Hey,
Yeah, I saw his hands are going all over the place, man.
Yeah, Goon threatened to duct tape my head
Exactly.
so I couldn't do the show. Penn State football is not quite Penn State football.
Well, an Italian middle linebacker.
Unless we got a couple of guys with Italian last names on the roster, preferably at the linebacker spot. I just scanned down the roster, look for the names that end with a vowel, and then I'm like, okay, all right, there we go. There we go. So, Dominic, same deal as we started out with Landon. If you can just introduce yourself to the audience and tell us a little bit about your journey to Penn State.
I'm Dominic DeLuca from the northeastern PA area, Scranton-Wilkes-Barre. Went to Wyoming Area High School, and I'm a walk-on here at Penn State. So my senior year of high school, tore my ACL in the last game. COVID hit right after that, so recruiting was a little rough. Coach Franklin gave me the walk-on spot before the season started my senior year, and I just knew I loved the campus. Been coming here forever, and I knew I made the right choice coming here.
So you get the preferred walk-on offer from Penn State, and then you sustain the injury. Is that right?
Correct.
So was there a conversation about that with the coaching staff?
So we didn't know my ACL was torn actually until I had surgery. So the MRI didn't show anything.
Yeah. Oh, wait, did you get one of those? We're just going to go in and check it?
Yep.
And then you might wake up with a
Exactly what happened.
I had one of them, but I didn't wake up with the whole torn up. They just fixed it in the meniscus. So, wow, that's bad.
I had no idea. Yep.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Now, you played a whole football game with a torn ACL. I think I just heard that.
Yeah, I played the second half of my state championship game.
State championship with the
El Buche over here is all proud over here. El Buche.
So what other schools did you have an opportunity to play for as you're getting to the end of your high school football career?
So it was Pitt, preferred walk-on, UMass preferred walk-on, and West Virginia preferred walk-on.
And talk a little bit more about what distinguished Penn State from the other teams out there.
Just the environment here. I love Penn State. Grew up here, coming a Penn State fan. First whiteout when I was 4 or 5 years old, and I had the opportunity to come here. Couldn't let that down.
I cannot believe there were 4-year-olds who are now playing for the team at whiteouts. That's awesome.
It's you, Booch. You just had your little stun moment when I asked, when were you born? 2002. What year were you born?
2001.
Oh, Jesus gracious.
Very good.
There you go, Booch. There you go. There you go.
And yet, here you are, logging lots of reps and minutes. Saw you all over the field on Saturday versus Central Michigan. Can you tell everybody about your path from coming to Penn State as a walk-on to seeing significant playing time now as a freshman, redshirt freshman?
Yep, so I enrolled with Landon in that semester after COVID and did that winter workout. It was Coach Pry and Coach Galt, and got a lot of experience during that. Learned a lot. didn't really know much about linebacker when they moved me, so it was a learning curve at first.
Oh, so this is a new position for you as well?
Yeah, I was a safety. I came in as a safety.
Okay.
Right before winter workouts ended,
that's
spring ball started, they moved me to linebacker and had to learn the playbook all over again.
So is that what you played in high school as well?
Yep, safety and quarterback.
Other sports?
Lacrosse and track.
Good for you. Missed them all senior year then, huh?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's actually not funny, but it's actually, you guys are the first guys that are actually not getting an extra COVID year, so we can actually track your years and see how long you've actually been here, so we don't have guys here for 14 to 15 seasons, you know?
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, the world was set on its ear a little bit with that COVID thing, but I can't imagine missing my whole senior year. I mean, Landon, they didn't play. You at least had a chance to play.
Yep.
I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, you think about it, but you don't really think about it until you actually hear somebody who actually went through it. That stinks for you guys. You missed your whole senior year, football, all that stuff. He did, but you did because you're ACL. So what did they think? Just a little MCL sprain or a little cartilage tear that we're going to go in and check you out, and then, oh, by the way.
So they saw a sprain on the MRI, but the doctor didn't think that was right, so he wanted to go in and see how it was. And
not uncommon, by the way, just so people know that.
Yeah, and he said it was 80% torn, so he had to
even if it's 1% torn, they got to fix it. Otherwise, it's going to go eventually. So, stronger now?
Oh, so much stronger.
What was your? I ask the guys all the time. I never had the catastrophic knee injury or anything like that, but like Brandon did, and Miashiro.
Yep.
You had the ACL.
Yep.
ACL.
ACL meniscus. Yep.
There you go. So it took you that first really weird, awkward hit for you to get 100% right in your head, didn't it?
Yeah, it was
because you were like, ooh,
you were like thinking
so
about it.
Brittle.
Yeah.
You were like, you couldn't lift 10 pounds with your knee 10 months before,
correct.
And now you're out there playing football again, and it takes that just like weird, like, wow, my knee should have blown out right there, but it didn't, and then your confidence and your mind starts getting right.
Well, I actually, before I even played my first snap of football, after that, I had a year and a half before the next time I actually put pads on to play.
Oh.
So it was different at first, but after the first hit, it made everything better.
Oh, it makes it easy. It's like a game on Saturday. You can be nervous as hell all you want, but if you take that first hit, you're like, all right, I'm ready to go.
Exactly.
Let's do it now. It knocks you straight, I swear.
Yep.
I want to talk real quick again. I've seen a lot of walk-ons at Penn State. I had the pleasure of being Don DeLuca's teammate when he first came in, down there on that D squad his freshman year. Yep. And I knew immediately, I saw the look in Dom's eyes. Okay, I'm like, this kid is not afraid of anything. Talk about the mindset that it takes to go from being hurt and dealing with COVID, from a walk-on spot to now seeing significant reps on the field. What did it take mentally to get to that point?
Well, I knew even before even committing, I just needed my spot somewhere, and I know I'll trust myself, bet on the program, and prove myself that I needed to do this, and I wanted to play eventually. And I took that to heart and focused every day, put my head down, worked, and just tried to do the best I ever could.
We do very well with walk-ons from the Scranton area.
Absolutely. Walk-ons all the time, anywhere.
No doubt about it.
We have always had great walk-ons. And I don't want to bring up Chad Powers, so I won't.
But you just did.
But I just did.
Real quick, though, talking about the Scranton area, we just did a camp in Scranton. What month was that? July. We had a kids camp. Okay, we had all kinds of big-time. Jair Brown was there. We had Kevon Lee there. When Dom DeLuca walked into this camp, you would have thought Tom Brady walked in the way those fans responded.
Look at the hair.
Take care of their own.
Look at the hair over here. Booch is over here. Booch is sweat over here. Look at the kid's lettuce over here. Look at that flow. It's beautiful. Booch is a little upset right now.
I hope this isn't a preview of his future.
Just so you know, he had the same exact flow when he was your age, Dom. Just so you know, I don't want to scare you a little bit.
Don't scare me. He was born in 2001, for God's sake. So, it's been cool having some of the defensive guys on the show so far, Dom, to talk to them about the coaching change. And, you know, a lot of the guys we've talked to played most of their career with Brent Pryde. And, you know, Landon, when he was on last segment, was talking about how you can buy into the credibility of Coach Franklin at the top, but the way college football is now, a lot of Penn State fans are still getting used to it. There's a lot of movement in the assistant coaching ranks. So you've been here for 2 years. You played in 2 different systems and had 2 different position coaches because Pry and now Manny Diaz are coaching the linebackers. So can you tell us a little bit about the transition from Brent Pry and his system and him coaching your position group in year 1 to now working with Manny Diaz?
Well, they're both great defensive game plans always, and 2 great defensive coordinators. And just learning one playbook and going to another, there's always going to be minor tweaks and people calling certain techniques differently, and just getting adjusted to that is mainly the big problem. But everyone handled it well. I feel like everyone got into that playbook over that time. As soon as he got in, he told us what we needed to do and what we needed to get done, and we got that done. Do you think it's tougher for you as a younger guy having to come in and acclimate to college football, learn all the terminology, and then as soon as you start to get comfortable, it changes? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was challenging at first, but I fell in love with it. I had to get the work done if I wanted to make my name known.
You're an athlete and a competitor. You make it happen, right?
Exactly.
So you're talking about your special teams play, but your walk-on, run-on plays and scout team. What are we calling the scout teams now over there?
D squad.
D squad, baby.
D squad.
D?
D
squad. All right.
Yep.
I mean, that's fun. When you're back playing football and this and that, you know what I mean? I remember we being freshmen, and I still got guys come back, and they were seniors when all of us were freshmen, and the 94 offense was our 1991 scout team, if you really think about it.
Yeah.
And those guys are like, dude, we got to go against these guys Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and it was just like, holy God, these guys are going to be really good. So it was fun, though, because you were back playing football, and it's a fine line between pissing the players off, a.k.a. going Johnny All-American, like 42,000 miles an hour on a Thursday afternoon, and you're like, dude, because everybody has them, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're talking to Johnny All-American this freshman year. That's the ironic part. This is,
well, see that guy on Thursday, the coaches are praising?
That's why he's playing now.
But you also had the W.O. behind your name.
Yeah.
You had that walk-on name, and it was easier to get rid of a walk-on than it's a lot easier to boot a walk-on guy than a scholarship guy. So it sucks, but you had to do that, but you did it, and it needed to be done. Good job, man. And it's paying off right now. See you out there.
Sure. Appreciate it. And I give all that credit to it because going against the aces, the tight end group, Tyler Warren, Theo Johnson, Brendan Strange, I had to give them, make sure they were ready for the game. So I just took that upon me, and it made me better. And I'm happy I took it that way.
You're not small guys either, so
no,
very rather large task you had.
I didn't get a chance to ask Landon. I do want to ask you, what major at Penn State? What are you studying there?
I'm agricultural business management.
Okay, all right, very good. Everybody's doing real majors. This is good.
I want to eventually own a farm.
What kind of farm?
Mainly for hunting, but I'm also gonna have cattle and stuff.
Okay, all right.
I know
watched
that
one
a lot
episode
of
of Yellowstone, and now he's lost his mind.
No, I don't even watch Yellowstone.
Have you gotten into the classes for the major much yet?
I just started doing some agribusiness management classes.
Okay, awesome, very good. Well,
pretty awesome.
The Farmers High School, after all. That's our roots.
Correct.
Yes.
1855.
Agricultural school, absolutely. Well, Dom, it's been great having you visit with us, man, and very cool to see you getting this opportunity to get out there and play and contribute as a young member of the football team. This is a great season you guys are having so far. We're rooting you on to keep it rolling.
Absolutely, man. Good job. Congrats.
Thank you.
Keep it going.
Yeah, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the Central Michigan game, about Northwestern coming up, and Aeneas making that transition from player to fan, got his first tailgate experience under his belt with this guy over here. So
I'm a professional trainer is what I am. I'm a groomer. I'm training and grooming the next generation.
Well done. Tom, thanks. Stay with us. We'll be right back here on the Blue and White Players Show.
People always ask me what chance is like during the day because we do get crazy at night, but we're just a normal workplace.
It's good, bro.
What's good, bro? How your weekend going?
It's all right, bro. How's yours?
Man, just chilling. You catch the game the other day?
Nah, I did.
That boy Steph Curry, he's something serious. Yeah.
Right now, I need you to high five your best friend. High five your best friend right now. Yes. Welcome back from vacation, Sean.
Good.
Make more good in the all-new Sportage X-Pro. Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the place where roadside markets are filled with fruits and vegetables, small batch jams and made from scratch pies, where mountain trails are explored with friends with names like Ghost and Traveler, where award-winning wines, craft-made beers, and spirits are raised, hearty meals are served, and nights are shared under star-filled skies. This is Center County, Pennsylvania. To find out all that's happening, visit us at happyvalleyagventures.com.
Hey, Penn State fans, it's game time, and Seoka is hitting the field with 40 dealerships and 25 franchises in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That means more choices and the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle priced to fit your budget. Plus, factory-trained service experts are just minutes away, and you can feel confident you're doing business with a family that treats you like family. We're a proud partner of Penn State Athletics and preferred auto dealer of the Penn State Alumni Association. The Seoka dealerships. Experience the difference.
Not shaving because of the win streak?
No, I just do the beard once a fall. Terry hates it, so I can get away with it for like a month, and then I gotta shave it.
My wife hates it too, but I still do it. Oh, man. Oh, you're still trying to get laid? Oh, I got you. Hey, did you play with that guy, Franklin Harris, Goon?
It's fucking amazing. Hey!
Are we?
It's the Blue and White Players Show. We're live from Champs Downtown, and that's the fun of being live.
There
Sometimes you'll find out you're back. So,
tell them how mad you are about DeLuca's hair.
You keep saying that. I'm actually, this is very manageable, actually. If I had it to go back and do again, I would probably start shaving it earlier, to be honest.
Every bald person I know says that. I swear to God.
Every one of them. I've heard that too.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
You know why?
Why is that?
Because they're bald.
I'm not giving away my secrets. Chris Buchanani, Keith Conlon, and Aeneas Hawkins. Those were two great guests.
Great guests.
Yeah.
We're about 8 for 8 right now.
Seriously,
Literally, we're 8 for 8.
I don't want to build this up too much or make it seem like I'm putting pressure on these guys.
You are. You're cursing them.
That 05 team is one of my all-time favorites, and it had that incredible combination of veteran leadership and freshman, young playmaking talent, and this team really reminds me of that combo. So they've been a real pleasure to watch through the first 4 weeks. We will talk a little bit about the Central Michigan game, but
I'm with you on that old school and the new school guys coming in.
Yeah.
You had some guys who were through some tough years in 2, 3, and 4. Well, 2 was a good season, right? 3 and 4.
I mean, it was okay. We won 9 games, and we lost some heartbreakers that year too.
Well, that was Larry though. Yeah, that was Larry going to. You got Citrus Bowl and all that stuff. So they had 3 out of 4 losing seasons in their 10 years. So they're going in. That's the season I came back. So I had a pretty good idea of those guys, and it was just like. It's easy to coach a team that has a lot of senior leaders and a lot of good leaders, and that they were some good leaders on that team. Guys who, like me and Aeneas, have talked on the side about guys who would get up in guys' faces. On the field, off the field, and not have to play like the whole, oh, we're boys, this and that. No, you're my boy, but if you're not pulling your weight, I'm going to call you out. And you have a lot of young talent on this team, and you have a lot of older guys who've been through some crappy seasons.
Last week, when you asked Jair and Keaton about is this a coach-led team or a player-led team, They responded immediately, and you could tell. I was no BS answer.
The chest puffed up a little bit.
Yeah, genuinely. This is a player-led team.
Yeah.
And, what do you always say? The teams where the players coach themselves are the best.
Perfect.
Those are the best ones
The
every
coaches
time.
just got to coach. They don't have to worry about all the crap.
Yep.
You just take care of yourselves.
But
and that's the best way.
When you come in and you're young and you're just learning, sometimes you need a steady veteran hand to show you the way, which is what...
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
I'm about to set you up for your Jedi Master ways with
this past
young
weekend.
guy over
Well, I thought you were going with the other story, so...
we'll get there.
The first story,
We
of course,
got a
is
good story for
you have to get the next generation of tailgaters ready.
Yeah.
So Aeneas is telling me, he's like, man, I hated standing on the sideline. My back was hurting. And I said, dude, don't go into the games. I said, I got a 60-inch television in the parking lot, cold beer, and a lot of food. He goes, ooh, I might like that. So he doesn't go into the game, and he sat there and watched the game, and he's looking at me going, damn, I don't think I'm ever going to go into a game again.
I will never go into a football game for any reason again.
A lot of grub. He does the pregame show. Post-game show has a bunch of food in between, watches the television. You see more.
You can see everything.
Watching television. You hear more for the post-game radio show.
It's very helpful, obviously, for radio purposes.
Yes,
but again,
no doubt about
let's
it.
not just fast forward past the food, beer, and the TV and the tents.
I'm not tooting my own horn.
Elite. What was that?
We had some pork roll, some boudin.
Boudin from Mississippi.
Mississippi, New Orleans area. Rice-based sausage. I never had it before, and it was a big hit at the tailgate.
You do it up right out of the gate.
I got
like,
three. We get there.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, you don't have any
7 a.m.
You
breakfast.
don't have any ramp up for the non-conference. I mean, the non-conference games, we get very sparse attendance. We're still like hot dogs and burgers.
It's all depending on the time of the game. If it was a noon game, it is heavy breakfast.
Yeah.
I always have my Bob Dufour, one of my tailgate guys, and Joe Cogador, the three of us. So Bob goes to a butcher between here and Lockheed. I don't know exactly which one it is. And they haven't paid us to get their mention, so. He brings 2 pounds of, we call it game day bacon in. Okay. And it's as thick a cut bacon as I've ever seen.
Okay.
Then I throw the pork roll on there, and I got another buddy up here. They slaughter some pigs, so we got homemade scrapple. And we had 2 versions of scrapple this week, the game day bacon, the pork roll, and that was just breakfast.
I got to ask, is scrapple a delicacy you were familiar with before you came to Penn State?
That's a great question. So I had an ex-girlfriend now in high school. Okay. And her family brought over and made some scrapple. I think it was like the day after Christmas. I never had it. I didn't know what it was. I went for it.
And how did that go?
Oh, outstanding.
Yeah,
outstanding. So I was ready. I was prepared for that.
It's all in the preparation.
Yeah.
See, I got to say this. My family, I got a couple of us who just despise scrapple. I was one of them. And a couple of us loved it, right? My mother made horrible scrapple. It was just heaped together, looked like mash.
No, you can't.
Wasn't good. It has to be crispy.
No, yeah.
And the new grills out there, like the new flat top grills that you're getting nowadays, it is the perfect place. Now, we'll get into this a whole bunch, but Joe eats it with syrup on his.
Syrup.
Syrup, and he loves it.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm pretty cool with how it is on its own. I mean, a lot of people do a little bit of ketchup on there. We'll get to the point where we're going to go with the egg, the scrapple, and then on the cheese and the Kaiser roll.
Well, listen, I'm going to follow your lead regardless. Yeah. Regardless. And I think I'm early enough in the scrapple
This doesn't happen overnight, man. Look at this.
It's a process.
This is a temple right here. This is a temple.
100 pounds the wrong way.
You must feed the temple, okay?
No doubt about it.
The temple will cave in upon itself.
So the other story from this weekend we got to get out.
Oh, geez. We don't need to tell this one.
We were talking about the years in which some of these players are born. That really threw me for a loop when he said he came to his first whiteout at 4 years old. I mean, awesome.
The first whiteout was 04.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I'm saying. Yeah. We're going pretty far back.
But I can go back farther.
But so you had a pretty interesting question about your playing career.
This one's a lot deeper, man. This one hurt a little bit. I was asked that my nephew. He usually brings a bunch of his friends up here. They're seniors or they're graduates. They're within the last year or two. They've been in or out of here. So, the one guy was at the Big Ten, TV show up the top of the hill. He rolls down to the tailgate. He's like, "Hey, man, I met this guy Franco Harris. Did he play with you?"
That was my favorite moment of the weekend. I hope you know that.
And I was like, dude, I've never been like shut up in my life. Like, I can usually come back with something, but I was stunned.
Shock and awe all over your face.
I mean, Aeneas was there. Aeneas was like,
I paused too.
Oh my God, don't kill him, Goon. Don't kill him. Yeah, it was funny. And I said, dude, you realize he was in the NFL before I was born? And he was like, oh, okay. I'm like, he's pushing 75, 80 years old. I'm not even 50. Oh, so you didn't play with him? Just leave it at that. But that was.
In your defense, Franco's held up pretty well.
Well, I haven't.
Do you remember when Mark Emmert asked him if he played on one of the teams?
Yes, you did say it. Did you lose victories?
They took the wins away from him.
Oh, my God.
It's a compliment. It's a compliment.
I guess you could say that.
Absolutely.
At one point, Marco did look like Franco Harris. There is a similarity between the two of them. There. A little bit when they were playing.
Oh, man.
And maybe he confused Marco Rivera with Franco Harris in 1972 and 1996.
It could be. You played with Steve Pittman, right?
Yeah, Lionel Mitchell was backing me up. I used to knock around Mike Reed at practice, you know. I mean, Denny Unconsummate used to get after it, you know. Did you play with that guy Franco Harris? Oh,
might be time to start using a little just for men.
Yeah, I thought about it. And my wife was like, "I told you look old."
Wow. I'm still feeling a little tension. I don't think you've come down from that anger at that moment.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not. How do you? I mean, last week I was carded at champs. Well, somebody else was carded at champs. I said, "You didn't card me." She goes, "Well, we're only supposed to card people who look over 50." How old do you think I am? She says, I don't know, 55, 60. And I was like, Jesus.
Goodness
gracious. As my wife said, it's the beard.
All right, we're going to hop to a break.
We all want this. We want this beard. Why do we want this beard, Chris?
I don't know. You're doing some kind of a playoff beard type deal.
I won't shave until we lose.
Yeah. No, this is not any of that, by the way. This comes and goes.
If this is gone, it's not going to be a good show.
Yeah.
If this is gone, if Babyface Goon is on this show, it's not a good thing.
I don't disagree. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back to talk about the Central Michigan game and wrap this up. Stay with us on the Blue and White Players Show.
People always ask me what chance is like during the day because we do get crazy at night, but we're just a normal workplace.
It's good, bro.
What's good, bro? How your weekend going?
It's all right, bro. How's yours?
Man, just chilling. You catch the game the other day?
Nah, I didn't.
That boy Steph Curry, he's something serious. Yeah.
I need you to high five your best friend. High five your best friend right now. Yes. Welcome back from vacation, Sean.
Good.
Make more good in the all-new Sportage X-Pro. Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the place where roadside markets are filled with fruits and vegetables, small batch jams and made from scratch pies, where mountain trails are explored with friends with names like Ghost and Traveler, where award-winning wines, craft-made beers, and spirits are raised, hearty meals are served, and nights are shared under star-filled skies. This is Center County, Pennsylvania. To find out all that's happening, visit us at happyvalleyagventures.com.
Penn State State fans, it's game time, and Seoka is hitting the field with 40 dealerships and 25 franchises in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That means more choices and the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle priced to fit your budget. Plus, factory-trained service experts are just minutes away, and you can feel confident you're doing business with a family that treats you like family. We're a proud partner of Penn State Athletics and preferred auto dealer of the Penn State Alumni Association. The Seoka dealerships. Experience the difference.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Blue and White Players Show, coming to you live from Champs Downtown, as we will do every Monday throughout Penn State's football season at 6 p.m. live here on the socials of statecollege.com and Onward State. A reminder, SOPA, paternofund.org, is where you can make a donation in any amount to support Special Olympics of Pennsylvania, honor the legacy of Joe and Sue Paterno, and be entered for a chance to win this one-of-a-kind Penn State football helmet signed by every Nittany Lions current and Letterman player who joins us on the show all throughout the season. I am Chris Buchanani. I got Keith Goon Conlin, Aeneas Hawkins, and guys, finally, I do want to talk a little bit
in
about
regards to the helmet. I'm sorry, but the Special Olympics. Read up on what is in that in there about who this scholarship's made for and going to, because it's a really, really cool story.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's very cool. I'm really happy we're able to do.
Yeah, so am I. Very, very happy.
Helmet's starting to fill up too, man.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be cool.
It's getting pretty good. And hey, keep on chalking up those W's. It's gonna be worth a little bit of money. Well, we can wash mine off.
We can
get rid of mine.
Central Michigan.
Yes.
Thoughts, Aeneas? Go.
Yeah. It was a little disappointing. You would expect to see a little bit more put up. But I think, a little bit of an overreaction. I think for the most part, a lot of guys did play well. I would have liked to see more people get involved in the game. That comes with running the score up a little bit more. Offense looked a little bit out of whack at times, but again, got the job done. I was really excited to see Katron Allen have a good game because everybody knows he's a good player, but he's kind of been overshadowed by the phenom Nick Singleton. So it's good to see him and get him rolling because those are two guys that are going to be needed down the stretch.
Reaction.
Hangover was expected, like I said earlier, about the going from an Auburn win, huge win, plane ride home, everybody, jumping into the top 15 and into the polls. And you get a team coming in from Central Michigan who's not that good, hasn't really played anybody that good, or played them at all, well at all. Sort of expected that hangover to happen. Now we're at the point right now, you guys are talking about getting players in. We're at the point now where it's like these freshmen that we're playing, that we're trying to get into these games, that's the end of the line.
Yep.
Like, you're allowed to play 4 games. So whether they didn't want to play a lot of those guys and say, okay, maybe we might need you week 10 or 11, possibly, because it's 4 games total. It's not just the first 4 games, and that's the difference in the new redshirting rules versus the old. So these guys they had already played the 3 games. This was the 4th game. So a lot of stuff had to happen, not happen, but a lot of decisions had to be made on players and whether they're going to redshirt or they're going to play. So it wasn't a surprise to me. It was a surprise to me late in the game that we just didn't blow them out.
Yep.
I expected them to play hard, have a little hangover, just be a little sluggish out there.
Yeah.
Which was, but I expected in the 4th quarter that CMU was just not going to have the horses to keep up with us. Yep. And we would just score 3 or 4 touchdowns late in the game to win and cover, all that stuff. But it didn't happen. But I go back to what we've been saying all year, and that it just seems to me James is doing one hell of a job with learning from past mistakes, and I think that this is a very teachable moment. I was like, hey man, this is Central Michigan. You can go. Northwestern beats somebody every freaking year. James is going to tell these guys, if you go out there and play like you did against Central Michigan against Northwestern, and that's the coaching point. That's the coaching point this week. You go out there and play like you did against Central Michigan against Northwestern, you will go into a bye week with a loss. And the season will be over right then and there.
I am of the opinion, and truly, this is where I'm at. It is not the worst thing in the world to win by 19, pitch 3 shutout quarters, and feel like you have a lot to yell at guys in film study about.
Correct.
Right? Like, especially after they played so well in all phases down at Auburn. One of my concerns was, are they going to start to get a little overconfident and miss the things they have to work on? Now I think it's readily apparent. I thought it was interesting you used the word disappointed. Because let me tell you, I mean, you've been on the internet. You know there are some fans who are very disappointed. There are some disappointed fans sitting around me at Beaver Stadium on Saturday because I'm on mute, or maybe not. But anyway, I'll fix on my microphone as I go here, live television. I told the people sitting around me, and I'm really curious of your take on this. What I saw on Saturday, and man, like I have learned as I've watched a lot of college football, the ups and downs happen every season. That to me looked like a team that, even though you would probably never get any of the guys to admit it on camera, they knew that they were not playing their best game, and they knew that they were more than good enough to keep playing not their best game and win by double digits. And they were doing it. And I said, it's, again, maybe not the worst thing in the world to have your team in that kind of a situation when you're playing a team that you can steamroll when you're not playing tight football.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, is that fair? Is that a fair assessment?
I think it's fair. And again, I brought this up on the radio after the game. You know, there's a lot of disappointment, and people were calling in, and they were panicking, and the world's ending. Central Michigan
The one call was
points.
fantastic.
The one call was ridiculous, and we won't get into that today. But you look around other scores in college football. Georgia beat Kent State by how much? What was the score?
State beat
17.
Oklahoma.
17. Kansas State beat Oklahoma. This is college football. Inconsistencies are going to happen.
Yes.
It's hard to get 18, 19, 20-year-old kids to get up for every game because the reality is there's a lot of rat poison out there. The media crowning people. People are on Twitter. They see Central Michigan is not a good football team in comparison to who they just played. And it's hard to get guys to get up for it.
I got one more for you.
Okay.
It's hard for coaches to get up for it, too.
Yep.
Not James, coaches.
Yep.
There's an extra 2 hours of film study that one night. You're like, you know, it's a lot easier coming off the Auburn game. Like, we got this. We're playing pretty well.
Yep.
And that can catch up to you.
It can catch up
to you. Let's not just blame the players for this.
No doubt.
I mean, we're not blaming the players for a 19-point win. We're not. In no way, shape, or form are we blaming the players for a 19-point win because
I think
if we're upset about a 19-point win, it's fantastic.
Right.
We're on the right path.
Yep.
You're expecting, because it's a MAC opponent, right? People don't know too much about them. I think there is no question Central Michigan is way better team in that conference than Ohio.
Yep.
But I think a lot of people were expecting Ohio-type results. Most of what I saw that I could quibble with the whole day versus CMU. You know, not the best day accuracy-wise from Sean. Probably not the best day pass blocking-wise from his offensive line.
Agreed.
Nick Singleton maybe pressing a little bit, trying a little bit too hard and not getting those opportunities he did against the Bobcats and against the Tigers. You know, some lapses defensively, despite the fact that, you know, we do shut them out and force 4 turnovers. First, shout out to Audrey Snyder from The Athletic, by the way. This is her stat. First time Penn State has recorded back-to-back 4 turnover games since 2012.
Wow.
So that was a decade in the making, so not too shabby. Really, the only thing that I saw on Saturday that I didn't think you can either clean that up over the next few weeks, or that is just guys maybe not as sharp as they could be, and they'll be okay going forward. Place kicking's got me a little nervous. You get an extra point blocked, you miss a 38-yard field goal. That's the kind of thing that can come back to haunt you in a close game.
Talk to Aeneas about kickers.
He won't even talk about kickers.
This is exactly my point. Nobody cares who the kicker and the punter are until they screw up.
Right? Like offensive lineman, like we talked about Landon.
There you go.
No one knows his name until you get a holding call.
Yep.
So, I mean, you see it in the NFL. You see it in every game. I mean, we had good days, we have bad days. As long as the good days are outweighing the bad ones, I'm okay. But it has been, brother. There has been 2 weeks now, so we're sort of a trend starting up now. So
I'll take it a step further. Kickoff. How many guys? I mean, 3, 4 guys going out there, inconsistent there. Coach Franklin called it out in the post-game press conference.
Yeah.
I think definitely special teams is the one area where it's like we got to take some strides here for the next couple of weeks.
And there's going to be
crazy because we went into that Purdue game and our special teams were rocking. They were banging.
And there's going to be more scrutiny there because you're forced into a coaching change in the offseason. But again, the way this has unspooled for Penn State so far this season, I think works favorably to working on that kind of stuff. Because look, let's just be honest. Like, they didn't play a very clean game on Saturday. They still handled Central Michigan. At no point was I anything beyond mildly annoyed. I was not nervous at any point during that game. And Northwestern looks to be another inferior football team, and then you're going to take 2 weeks to be able to get ready for Michigan and work on the things that required some working on over the first 5 games of the season. But what do you got?
I can't wait. I mean, let's get through this Northwestern game. This is what looking for, but I think that the bye week is going to be beneficial to us because I don't think the guys will be looking forward to Michigan this week. If it was the week after, I could see it being a trap game.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is a bye week, and this is going into it. Let's go out there. I said it on the obligatory show, and that is that let's go out there, let's stay healthy, win the game, get after it, get everybody back in the locker room, have a good time, put the disco ball on, dance around a little bit, and get ready for Northwestern. So this is the Northwestern game we got to get ready for. Come out of that game healthy, go into a bye week, have a couple practices, a couple days off, and then you prepare for the Wolverines.
4-0. That's what matters. 1-0
The
this
show
week.
is 4-0.
The show is also 4-0.
Absolutely. We'll go for 5-0 next week. Join us again Monday, 6 p.m. StateCollege.com, OnwardState.com. Socials, you got the whole 9 yards. We're live from Champs Downtown every week with players from the Penn State football show. It is the Blue and White Players Show. Stay with us all throughout the season. We'll see you back here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Let's do it.
We are.
Sir.
People always ask me what Champs is like during the day because we do get crazy at night, but we're just a normal workplace.
It's good, bro.
What's good, bro? How your weekend going?
It's all right, bro. How's yours?
Man, just chilling. You catch the game the other day?
Nah, I did.
That boy Steph Curry, he's something serious. Yeah.
Right now, I need you to high five your best friend. High five your best friend right now. Yes. Welcome back from vacation, Sean.
Good.
Make more good in the all-new Sportage X-Pro. Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the place where roadside markets are filled with fruits and vegetables, small batch jams and made from scratch pies, where mountain trails are explored with friends with names like Ghost and Traveler, where award-winning wines, craft-made beers, and spirits are raised, hearty meals are served, and nights are shared under star-filled skies. This is Center County, Pennsylvania. To find out all that's happening, visit us at happyvalleyagventures.com.
Hey, Penn State fans, it's game time, and Seoka is hitting the field with 40 dealerships and 25 franchises in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That means more choices and the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle priced to fit your budget. Plus, factory-trained service experts are just minutes away, and you can feel confident you're doing business with a family that treats you like family. We're a proud partner of Penn State Athletics and preferred auto dealer of the Penn State